talk about a quarterback that has been going really under the radar this offseason, and nobody's really talking about him going into 2020. But I want to talk about why Gardner Minshew will break out for the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2020. So, I understand the Jacksonville Jaguars don't really get a lot of national media attention, but it is a big surprise to me that a lot of people aren't talking more about Gardner Minshew. Remind you that Gardner Minshew was a 6th round pick, and not only did he outperform his expectations as a 6th round pick, but he outperformed the majority of the quarterbacks that were taken in rounds ahead of him. Majority in the first round. He outperformed quarterbacks in the first round that were taken 5 rounds ahead of him, and Dwayne Haskins and Daniel Jones, right? And I think he's really overlooked. So I was browsing on Instagram a couple of days ago. I forgot what Instagram page it was, but I think it was Catch the Blitz. It was an Instagram page named Catch the Blitz that made a post and asked, if the NFL was to have a redraft for the 2019 NFL Draft, will Gardner Minshew be a first-round selection? And I go into the comments, and I'm extremely surprised at the fact that the majority of the people in that comment section said that Gardner Minshew would not be a first-round pick. He would be like a second-round or third-round selection if they were to redraft the 2019 NFL Draft. And it's absolutely crazy to me because Gardner Minshew was a 6th-round selection, and he outperformed Dwayne Haskins and Daniel Jones, and only played in 12 games, right? 12 games. If Gardner Minshew played the whole entire season, he probably would have won Offensive Rookie of the Year, or at least he would have been in that conversation. And not only did Gardner Minshew have a great rookie year, but he probably had the best rookie season we've ever seen out of a Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback, right? Not only did he have the best rookie season we've ever seen out of a Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback, but in one season and only 12 games, Gardner Minshew had a better season than the last few starting quarterbacks for the Jacksonville Jaguars over the last couple of years. Blaine Gabbert, Chad Henne, Blake Bortles, besides from that 1 year when Blake Bortles had I believe he had over 40 touchdowns or something like that. Besides that 1 year, Gardner Minshew has outplayed the majority of the quarterbacks that have been the starting quarterbacks for the Jacksonville Jaguars over the last several seasons, right? Now going into 2020, I believe that Gardner Minshew is going to have a breakout year. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars have the pieces around Gardner Minshew that Gardner Minshew can be successful. They got DJ Chark and D.D. Westbrook at the wide receiver position, who a lot of people don't realize this, but DJ Chark was on an absolute tear for the first 8 games of the season. But I believe what stopped all of the Jacksonville Jaguars' momentum offensively was when Nick Foles came back from his injury and they forced him back into the starting lineup. Which I don't fault the Jacksonville Jaguars organization for doing that because, you paid Nick Foles all that money and free agency, so you want to get your money's worth, right? But when they forced Nick Foles back into the starting lineup, a guy who went several weeks without playing, it messed up the chemistry and it messed up the rhythm that the offense was in, right? Then once they put Gardner Minshew back at the quarterback position for the rest of the season, Gardner Minshew lost his magic because he basically had to reestablish the chemistry and things like that. So if Gardner Minshew would have played the whole entire season for Jacksonville, I think this guy probably could have tied Baker Mayfield's rookie touchdown record for most touchdowns by a rookie quarterback in the first season. I really believe that because I was really impressed about not only how poised Gardner Minshew was, but how good he was. Remind you, this guy was a 6th round pick. Most late round selections don't even make the roster. Most of these guys make the practice squad, or they don't even get a chance to start. They don't even get a chance to start their first year. They're like backups, the majority of these guys, right? So the fact that Gardner Minshew not only exceeded expectations as a 6th round pick, but he outplayed guys who were taken in the first round, guys like Dwayne Haskins and Daniel Jones. And another big reason why I'm actually really high on Gardner Minshew is the fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars have former Washington Redskins head coach Jay Gruden as their new offensive coordinator. Now, a lot of people will say that Jay Gruden wasn't a great coach for the Washington Redskins, but a lot of people forget when Alex Smith was fully healthy before he had that devastating career-threatening and life-threatening leg injury, the Washington Redskins with Alex Smith were in playoff contention. So Jay Gruden has proved that if he has a more than capable quarterback starting for him, that he can deliver and have a lot of success offensively as offensive coordinator. So I think Jay Gruden and Gardner Minshew is going to be a really good pairing for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, if the Jacksonville Jaguars offensive line holds up, they should be really good offensively, because you got DJ Chark, you got D.D. Westbrook, you also got Laviska Shenault, who you drafted in the second round of this past year's NFL draft, who in my opinion was a first round talent, but the only reason he didn't go in the first round was because of injury concerns, right? So this man Gardner Minshew completed 6% of his passes for 3,271 pass yards, 21 passing touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. He had one of the best touchdown to interception ratios in the NFL out of all starting quarterbacks in the NFL last season, right? He also had 344 rushing yards on the ground, but he did have 13 fumbles. So he fixed his fumbling issues and things like that. I think that Gardner Minshew can end up having a really big year this season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And a lot of people aren't really that high on the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of people think that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be taken for Trevor Lawrence. Listen, if the Jacksonville Jaguars tank for Trevor Lawrence, I would consider Jacksonville Jaguars the worst organization in NFL history, because you got your franchise quarterback right here in front of your eyes, right? So not only do I feel that Gardner Minshew is going to break out this year, but he's also, after this season in 2020, is going to cement his status as a guy moving forward as a franchise quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And let me give you guys another scenario, right? Imagine if 2019 Gardner Minshew was on that Jacksonville Jaguars team that went to the AFC Championship game a few years ago. Think about the possibilities. Think about replace Blake Bortles, who played all right that season, but replace Blake Bortles with Gardner Minshew from last year, and tell me that AFC Championship team, that AFC team that went to the championship game that barely lost to New England, doesn't have a better shot of beating New England in that game with Gardner Minshew the way Gardner Minshew played last season. Gardner Minshew, in only 12 games, had a better season than the last few starting quarterbacks that the Jaguars have had over the last several years. What? Cody Kessler played a few games. Who else? Chad Henne, Blaine Gabbert, Blake Bortles, besides that 1 year when Blake Bortles had like 40 touchdowns or something like that. So, in only 12 games, Gardner Minshew has had one of the best seasons that the Jacksonville Jaguars have had out of the quarterback position in a very, very long time. So, I believe under new offensive coordinator Jay Gruden that Gardner Minshew is going to flourish. He has talent around him. The only biggest concern that I have is really the offensive line, but hopefully the offensive line improves and the offensive line holds up. DJ Chark is also going to have a breakout season as well if Gardner Minshew performs well. Also, you're going to have D.D. Westbrook, who should have a really nice year as well. And Leonard Fournette should also benefit as well, because a lot of people forget that Leonard Fournette is a really good halfback. But a lot of people always criticize Leonard Fournette because he's basically a guy who only gets like big run plays and things like that. But the thing is, how is Leonard Fournette supposed to be a consistent halfback week in and week out when your quarterback position doesn't really have a lot of production and teams can basically just stack the box and play the run? Now with Gardner Minshew at the helm at quarterback, teams can't just stack the box and try to game plan to stop Leonard Fournette. You got to account for Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew also is more athletic than a lot of people gave him credit for, right? So I believe that Gardner Minshew is going to have a breakout season for the Jacksonville Jaguars this year. Although a lot of people aren't really expecting a lot of the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm expecting a lot out of Gardner Minshew. And I want Gardner Minshew to succeed because I find it crazy that although Gardner Minshew had one of the best seasons in Jacksonville Jaguars history from a rookie quarterback, and not only just a rookie quarterback, but a quarterback in general, that the Jacksonville Jaguars still don't really see him as a franchise quarterback. Like, you still see rumblings about how people think like the Jacksonville Jaguars could be the team that tanks for Trevor Lawrence. If Jacksonville Jaguars do that, I will lose all my respect that I have for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I live in the city of Jacksonville. And I'm not a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, but I would like to see the Jacksonville Jaguars actually get the quarterback position right. for a change, because I've been living in Jacksonville basically since I was 3 years old, and the only good, decent quarterback the Jacksonville Jaguars have had during my time living in this city has been Mark Brunell for a few years and David Garrard. That's been pretty much it. So ever since, I've been in 5th grade, the Jacksonville Jaguars have had mediocre quarterback play. So I would like for Gardner Minshew to finally be the franchise quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars that the Jacksonville Jaguars have been searching for the last few seasons. And I feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars should be able to build around Gardner Minshew. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Gardner Minshew kind of fizzled out the last few games, JT. And I understand that. But you got to look. He lost his he lost a lot of chemistry when they ended up forcing Nick Foles back into the starting lineup. So once he came in, he lost all of his rhythm. He had to get his mojo back. But I believe this year, Gardner Minshew will break out for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he will cement himself as the franchise quarterback moving forward after this year that the Jaguars have been searching for the last few seasons. So let me know how you guys feel about Gardner Minshew and the Jacksonville Jaguars going forward. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thanks for watching.